Do you know what secretly blocks most people from their manifestation? It's not a lack of signs. It's the obsession with chasing them. So many wake up and fix their eyes on the clock and whisper, "The universe must be talking to me." They stumble upon a feather and convince themselves heaven has dropped a message. A song drifts through the radio, and suddenly it feels like destiny is sending a secret code. And in a sense, they are right. These are signals. But here is the paradox no one dares to tell you. The moment you hunger for signs, you quietly confess to the field that you don't yet believe. You are waiting for evidence, and waiting is a frequency that says it is not here. This subtle vibration is enough to keep you locked outside of the life that already belongs to you. Ask yourself, if you truly lived in certainty, would you need reminders? Would you scan every corner of your world for validation? Or would you simply breathe as though it is already done? Most people are not creating, they are waiting, and their waiting becomes the very broadcast of their being. The universe does not echo back what you hope for, it mirrors what you are. So if you are waiting, life will hand you more reasons to wait. Quantum physics already whispers this truth. Before energy becomes matter, it floats in pure possibility, superposition. The wave only collapses when consciousness chooses. But chasing after signs is not choosing. It is hesitation wearing the mask of faith. The search for reassurance is actually the confession of doubt. And so you remain suspended, caught between timelines, flickering between worlds. The field cannot stabilize chaos. It mirrors coherence. So instead of solid outcomes, you attract half-formed realities, almosts and maybes. Mystics knew this long before science named it. Neville Goddard taught, "Assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled." Notice he never said, "Wait for signs to prove it's coming," because assumption is creation itself. To assume is to embody, to declare no proof is required, for the truth already breathes within you. Signs are not wrong. They are beautiful, but they were never meant to be your compass. They are echoes, not the source. And when you mistake the echo for the voice, you wander in circles, chasing shadows instead of stepping into the sun. Why do we cling so tightly to signs? Because since childhood, we were trained to demand permission slips, grades, approvals, external stamps of worth. So now, when we meet the vastness of the universe, we bring the same conditioning. If spirit heard me, it must show me. But that thought traps you in a lower loop of frequency. It keeps you circling in the very energy of waiting. Signs are not roadmaps. They are simply mirrors of the state you're already in. And the more you lean on them, the more you become dependent on something outside yourself. Here is the paradox. The absence of signs is often the greatest sign of all. When the reminders disappear, it may mean you've entered true alignment. The field doesn't need to flash symbols when coherence is already established. It just flows, quietly, effortlessly. That is why, just before a breakthrough, life often feels strangely silent. Not because nothing is unfolding, but because everything is already in motion beyond your eyes. The quantum field has received your choice. Your only task now is not to chase proof, but to live as trust itself. Ask yourself with honesty, are you dwelling as the one who already has, or as the one still waiting for permission? This is the invisible fork in the road where many lose their way. If you keep scanning for confirmation, you remain a seeker. But the moment you release the need and embody the certainty, reality crystallizes. The shift occurs. The field recognizes your coherence and says, now it is done. This is why chasing signs does not accelerate your manifestation. It delays it. Waiting tightens the body. It activates tension, checking, anticipation. The nervous system shifts into survival. In that state, your energy is not broadcasting fulfillment, but lack. And the quantum field always mirrors what you broadcast. Doubt calls back more doubt. Waiting summons more waiting. Even physics affirms this. Heisenberg taught that observation shapes reality. But if your observation is laced with hesitation, is it here yet? Did the universe hear me? The wave collapses into uncertainty. You end up tuning between frequencies, trapped in static. And the universe cannot amplify static. It amplifies coherence. Mystics knew this truth long before science gave it equations. Florence Scovel Shinn would say, Faith knows it has already received. Not a faith that waits to see if it might happen, but a faith that bypasses signs entirely because it stands in knowing, not hoping. Neville Goddard insisted on the same principle. Assume the wish fulfilled, feel the reality alive within you. That assumption is the very act of creation. It is not borrowed from feathers, numbers, or coded messages. It arises from within, and that is why it works. So why do people keep chasing signs? Because signs soothe the ego. They make you feel for a moment that something outside is working for you. But the comfort is temporary. When the signs vanish, fear creeps back. Maybe the universe has forgotten me. Maybe nothing is happening. And once again, you fall back into waiting. The cycle is subtle, but addictive. You search for signs. You feel comfort. Then the signs vanish and doubt creeps in. So you search again. And all the while, manifestation does not unfold. Not because the universe withholds from you, but because your own frequency is flickering. The truth is simple. The universe is not testing you with signs. It is reflecting you through them. They are not maps telling you where to go. They are mirrors showing you where you stand. Each time you beg for signs, you are really begging for reassurance that you still do not trust your own creative power. And that becomes the very broadcast the field reflects back. Imagine this. You order something online. Do you sit by the door, refreshing the tracking page every hour, doubting if it's coming? Or do you trust the order is already confirmed? In the quantum field, the order is placed the moment you embody the state of having. The more you track it, the more you vibrationally interfere with its arrival. True manifestation is simple. Place the order, then live as though it's already yours. Here lies the deeper spiritual truth. When you stop needing signs, you merge with your higher self. Traditions call this the God state. It does not wait for evidence. It creates evidence. From that frequency, signs may still appear, but now they are playful synchronicities, not lifelines. This shift collapses the waiting loop and unlocks the reality that has already been born within you. So ask yourself, are you moving through life with the eyes of someone who knows or with the eyes of someone who hopes? The field cannot be deceived by your words. It feels your vibration. Hope carries absence. Knowing radiates presence. This is why waiting for signs is the most elegant form of self-sabotage. It looks like faith, but it is actually doubt disguised. Stay with me because there is a mechanism, revealed both in quantum theory and neuroscience, that shows why detachment, not waiting, collapses reality. Once you grasp this, you will never chase signs again. You will embody the frequency that makes manifestation effortless. Quantum mechanics calls it superposition. Particles exist in all possible states until observed. Every version of your reality, love, abundance, health, freedom, already exists in that field. But here's the twist. When you observe through the lens of waiting, you collapse the wave into waiting itself. The signal you send is not "I have," but "I am searching." And so the field mirrors exactly that. More searching, more waiting, more absence. This is why so many feel stuck. Without realizing, they are collapsing timelines of lack. Neuroscience reveals the same principle through biology. The brain is a prediction engine. When you look for signs, it reinforces uncertainty, activating vigilance in the prefrontal cortex and the limbic system. Your body slips into low-level survival. Joe Dispenza explains, the body becomes addicted to the chemicals of anticipation and stress. Even when it feels uncomfortable, it is familiar, and so the body clings to it. Instead of creating new realities, you keep rehearsing the old self. You are neurologically imprisoned in waiting. But the moment you detach, something profound happens. Detachment is not apathy, it is release. You free your nervous system from surveillance mode. You stop scanning your environment for proof and let your awareness rest in presence. Biologically, this activates the parasympathetic system. Heart rhythms soften, brain waves shift into alpha and theta. The body enters coherence, and coherence is power. In physics, when particles align, they amplify one another. They resonate as one. So it is with you, mind and body attuned, field and spirit synchronized. That resonance is what the universe mirrors back as manifestation. When we turn to science, we find voices like Dean Radin from the Institute of Noetic Sciences. His decades of research reveal something extraordinary, that focused intention can bend the behavior of physical systems. But here's the secret. Intention only works when it's steady, coherent, and free from the grip of desperation. The universe doesn't respond to grasping hands. It responds to open palms. This is why every spiritual path whispers the same truth. In Taoism, it is wu-wei, effortless action. In Christianity, it is faith, resting in the unseen. In Buddhism, it is non-attachment. And in Neville Goddard's words, assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled. He never said hope. He never said wait for a sign. He said assume. To assume is to release, to live as though it already is, without struggle, without searching. Think of your own life. Remember a time when something finally came together? The right person, the right opportunity, the unexpected healing. Did it arrive when you were desperate? Or did it appear in the moment you let go? You stopped checking. You shifted into flow. And suddenly it showed up. That wasn't coincidence. That was coherence. Because every time you beg for proof, you create static. You tangle the signal of your own field. But when you rest in presence, you broadcast clarity. Manifestation is not about effort. It is about alignment. And alignment dies the moment you live in anticipation. It's like planting a seed and then digging it up every morning to see if it grew. That constant checking kills the miracle. But left in fertile soil, nourished by trust, the seed flourishes on its own. Your intentions are no different. Plant them, water them with faith, and stop disturbing their growth. Here lies the paradox. Manifestation feels slow when you are waiting, but becomes instant the moment you stop waiting. Why? Because time itself bends differently inside the quantum field. Retrocausal experiments suggest that outcomes can influence causes, meaning your future can collapse into form before your conscious choice is even made. Your life isn't waiting for time. Time is waiting for you. And coherence only comes when you stop demanding proof. So the next time your mind whispers, "Where's my sign?" Smile. Recognize the old pattern and release it. Because the moment you stop interfering is the moment your quantum leap accelerates. This is the science of effortless manifestation. And it is not just theory, it is your lived proof if you dare to stop asking for it. Stay with me, because next I will give you a simple, 3-step practice to embody this detachment. So you no longer wait for signs, but radiate the frequency that makes signs unnecessary. When your nervous system no longer feels trapped in survival, the doorway to creation opens. Science and spirit both agree. Your body is the instrument through which consciousness plays its melody. But if your inner wiring is locked in vigilance, forever scanning for danger, then even the most powerful intention will echo unanswered. The shift begins when you choose safety. Slow down, close your eyes. Breathe as if the universe itself is moving through you. Inhale gently, 4 counts of receiving. Exhale longer, 6 counts of release. With each breath, soften into your heart. Imagine its center radiating waves of light, as though it is already sending signals to the field. This rhythm does more than calm you. It creates coherence, aligning brain and heart into one steady pulse. Research shows that in this alignment, intuition sharpens, and the field bends more easily toward your frequency. You stop chasing signs because you become the sign. And then comes the surrender that frightens the mind, but liberates the soul. Let go of the clock. The quantum does not tick by seconds or hours. It does not recognize deadlines or urgency. It responds only to readiness. Think back to the moments when blessings arrived unexpectedly, perfectly timed though never scheduled. That was not coincidence. That was resonance. So once your intention is planted, refuse to demand when. Each time your mind whispers, "How long will it take?" return gently to the truth. It is already unfolding. Feel your body release its grip on time. That is not giving up. It is trusting. And trust collapses reality faster than any forcing ever could. This path is not about endless repetition or desperate effort. Straining only signals doubt. Instead, see it as daily attunement, a recalibration of language, of breath, of surrender. Just a few minutes of coherence carry more power than hours of restless visualization. In the quantum, quality of frequency outweighs quantity of action. And here is the hidden beauty. The moment you stop searching for proof, life itself becomes the proof. Every step, every breath, every unfolding, already the sign you were waiting for. The synchronicities you once chased begin to appear everywhere. No longer as proof you desperately seek, but as confirmations of what your soul already knows. You will find yourself stepping into the right room at the right time, crossing paths with the right people, stumbling into opportunities you never planned for. This is not coincidence. It is your field reshaping itself around your coherence. Anchor this truth right now. Declare it not just with words, but with energy. Whisper it into the quantum field. I allow it to be easy. This is not a sentence. It is a proclamation that you are done waiting, done doubting, done seeking constant validation. It is a signal that you are ready to collapse into the reality already destined for you. As you write it, feel it vibrate through your body. Let this be your alignment, your signature of readiness. And now let us expand beyond the signs. Let us zoom out to reveal the greater mystery. The timeline you are chasing has already been chosen. Your dream, your vision, your desire, it is not random. It is not a fantasy you invented. It is a potential already alive within the infinite field. What you call desire is the resonance between your consciousness and the timeline where it is already complete. You are not creating from nothing. You are remembering. You are aligning with what is already encoded in the quantum fabric. This is why waiting for signs drains you, because you act as though your dream still lives far away. But in truth, the wave has already collapsed. It is only your fragmented awareness that has yet to catch up. The gap between wanting and being is the illusion that makes manifestation feel hard. When that split dissolves, manifestation becomes instant, not magic coherence. Neuroscience confirms this. Your brain is a prediction machine, filtering every moment to match the reality it believes is true. If your subconscious still runs the script of lack, if it repeats, "I don't have it yet, I'm still waiting," your mind will literally delete evidence to the contrary. That is why people miss opportunities even when they stand right before them. But when you step into coherence, when you embody the state of already having it, your brain reorganizes itself. Suddenly, perception shifts. The invisible pathways become visible. The doors you thought were closed reveal themselves wide open. Reality didn't just appear, it was always there. You finally tuned into the station where your dream was already playing. Just like a radio, all frequencies exist at once, but you only hear the one you tune to. The quantum field works the same way. Your higher self has always been broadcasting from the frequency where your dream is complete. Doubt scrambles the signal. Complication distorts it. But every time you surrender, every time you align, you lock into the music of that timeline. This is why surrender feels like power. Because in surrender, you no longer interfere with the transmission. Your desire is not running after you, and you are not chasing it. You are orbiting each other, bound like entangled particles across space and time. Quantum entanglement reveals that once particles connect, distance no longer separates them. So it is with you and your dream. You are already entangled, already linked in ways the mind cannot measure. The only reason the dream feels distant is because of the resistance within your awareness. The moment you release the habit of clinging to the old frequency, something extraordinary happens. The entanglement of energy pulls you into the reality where your dream has always existed, waiting. And this opens the door to a liberating truth. You don't need to figure out the path. The path is not yours to control. The how belongs to the field. Your only responsibility is coherence, merging thought, feeling, and body into a single signal. When that alignment clicks into place, the field reshapes itself without your effort. Life begins to move. People appear. Opportunities unlock. Doors swing open. The more you interfere, the slower it feels. The more you surrender to the simplicity, the faster it unfolds. Think about it. How many times has something essential in your life arrived in ways you could never have orchestrated? That friend who crossed your path at just the right time, that door that opened when you least expected, that timing so precise it could never be called coincidence. None of that was random. It was the field rearranging itself around your alignment. When you look back, you see the truth. The timeline was already written, and you were simply catching up to it. This is why you must stop doubting when things feel easy. Simplicity is not a trick. Simplicity is the portal. The mind craves complexity because it thinks control comes from effort. But the field does not respond to effort, it responds to resonance. When you finally embrace the wisdom that ease is not weakness, but intelligence, you step into the vibration of your higher self. And from that state, you no longer chase, you no longer force, you no longer wait, you simply become. So here is your invitation for today. Live as though the timeline has already been chosen. Not that it's on its way, not that it might come someday, but chosen, done, sealed. Let your words, your movement, and even your breath flow from that place. As you do, you will notice a calm confidence rising within you. That quiet certainty is coherence. And coherence is the most magnetic frequency in the universe. Stay with me, because in the final part, we will activate this awareness inside you. Not as an idea, but as something living in your nervous system, so that this shift is not just temporary, but permanent. And I will share with you a resource that will take you even deeper into this practice. You did not arrive here by chance. If you are still listening, it means that something within you already recognizes the truth. The reality you are seeking is not somewhere far away. It has been here all along. It has always been here, encoded in the invisible fabric of the field, waiting for the moment you become coherent enough to receive it. Every doubt you have ever carried, every whisper that said it might be too simple, was only the illusion of separation. What you call desire is not a wish that someday could unfold. It is the memory of a reality that already exists, calling you to align with it. Quantum manifestation has never been about effort, struggle, or force. The field does not respond to how hard you push. It answers only to the frequency you carry. Your nervous system, your emotions, your thoughts, they are all transmitters of this signal. When fragmented, the broadcast is weak, but when unified in coherence, the field cannot help but mirror it back. You do not chase reality, you collapse into it. A mirror does not reflect what you long for, it reflects what you are. The quantum field moves in the same way. Every I am statement, every subtle expectation, every emotional tone is being broadcasted into the field, and the field without judgment reflects it back. This is why surrender feels so magnetic. When you stop transmitting confusion, the reflection of chaos dissolves. When you declare clarity, the field becomes clear. This is the power, and this is the simplicity. So let this truth become your anchor. You are no longer waiting. You are no longer trying. You are no longer living in the vibration of someday. You are aligning, you are collapsing, you are embodying. You are already living the chosen timeline. And with every breath, you are weaving it closer until it becomes indistinguishable from your present moment. This is the essence of quantum manifestation. Not that you create something new, but that you awaken to who you already are. If you feel the resonance of this truth within you right now, let it root deeper. Hold it as a living frequency, not just as knowledge. Because the universe has never been testing you, punishing you, or making you wait. It has always been ready. The only thing it awaited was for you to realize that the door has always been open. You are no longer the seeker. You are the signal. You are the mirror. You are the frequency that shifts timelines. Carry this knowing in your heart. The field is not far away. It is breathing with you in this very moment. Live from the certainty that it is already done, and watch how life rearranges itself around your coherence. Until we meet again, stay aligned, stay luminous, and remember, you were never meant to struggle to receive. You were only meant to remember. Comment below, I let it in to anchor this new reality. And subscribe not for more information, but to remain in alignment.